Every few weeks, it seems like a new must-have piece of sim racing gear drops. A wheelbase with even more torques, or pedals with aerospace-grade sensors, motion platforms, and the list goes on. Every time, I'm pretty sure that a lot of sim racers will have a little voice at the back of their head saying, that's the fear of missing out, or FOMO, and it quietly infects a huge part of the sim racing community. It's not just the fear of missing out on better lap times or immersion, it's the fear of being left behind, of not keeping up with the scene, of being the one person still on last year's gear. And it sucks, and I'm guilty of making the problem worse. Sim racing is one of the few gaming hobbies where the gear replicates what's being simulated. Apex Legends or Counter-Strike or Call of Duty, those aren't played with guns. It's the mouse and keyboard. Sim racing is different, it's physically bigger. Direct drives, load cell pedals, triple monitors, button boxes, sim rigs, but these aren't just equipment pieces for many, they are actually status symbols or even sometimes personality. Scroll through Discords or Facebook communities and you'll see the same thing. Photos of pristine rigs, endless questions about which 1,000-pound setup to buy. The community unintentionally, and I think sometimes even intentionally, creates a culture of comparison, and the result is FOMO, the feeling that if you're not upgrading, you're falling behind, or worse, missing the real sim racing experience. I'm here to tell you, fuck this. Chill out, fam. Also subscribe to the channel for more stuff like this and reviews. The problem with FOMO is that it shifts your focus from racing into consuming. It turns what it should be an immersive, skill-driven hobby into an endless cycle of chasing the next purchase. And ironically, that constant chase often kills the joy of driving in the first place. That should be the reason you're doing sim racing anyways. You could be completely content with your gear 1 week, only to feel inadequate the next just because you saw someone else's setup on Instagram or something new dropped with even more force feedback and it was reviewed in this channel. Suddenly, your perfectly functional rig feels outdated, your E-pin smaller, not because it is, but because someone convinced you it might be. Not me, I don't think it is. And here's the truth that rarely gets said. Better gear doesn't automatically make you faster. Sure, high-end gear can improve comfort, give more feedback, maybe offer a few tenths over long stints, who knows, but it won't teach you breaking points, it won't give you awareness, it won't fix bad habits. That's the worst part. No amount of new tech replaces time on track and deliberate practice. For that, you'll need something like today's sponsor, Coach Dave Academy. Coach Dave Academy Delta provides telemetry, AI hints, and setups for Le Mans Ultimate and iRacing as well ACC or Gran Turismo 7. They have telemetry to compare your inputs against esports drivers, helping you, as they have been helping me, getting faster. They have faster, safer setups as well as esports setups made by top drivers like Yuri Kazarp. Link available in the description. FOMO makes you feel like you're never really done with this. There's always something new, always something better, and to be fair, there's always a bigger fish somewhere and new stuff will be here every so often, but better doesn't really mean it's actually better or better for you. Part of why this happens is because FOMO is profitable. Gear companies know that sim racers are passionate and very obsessive, so every product is marketed like a revolution. Every year something is more realistic or next gen or game changing. It's not enough to say if something is good. It has to be so good that your current setup suddenly feels inadequate. The influencers, the review channels, and the content creators play into this as well, and that's also me, so mea culpa here. And we're doing this often without meaning to. They are constantly showing you off the latest tech, maybe cool things, maybe they are interesting or whatever, but the result is the same. We compare what we have, what we want, and what we feel like we're missing out. But in reality, that doesn't mean it is actually the case that you should move to another piece of tech. Let me give you a great example from yours truly. We have the mods and booster pedals. They're a great piece of kit. They're kind of a game changer, you know, active pedals and such. The price is good and you can get, a full pedal set with one active pedal at the same price at high-end pedals. It allows you to do ABS, it allows you to do traction control, longer pedal, shorter pedal without changing anything. Everything goes through the software. So that means I would be running the Mazda M booster in the rig, right? I'm running an IMSIM Talento that I've been running for the past few years because I'm accustomed to it. Honestly, I like it better, and I'm not gaining any pace with active pedals, no matter if it's Simicube or Mazda. For me, this is for me, simplicity is more important. That's why I'm running with just a single screen. I've gained more pace from free setups by having a session with Suelio Almeida or with Coach Dave Academy than I have with pretty much any piece of kit past a certain point. When you strip away the hype from all the stuff, sim racing is just about one thing and one thing alone. It's about racing. The actual craft, going around the track, wrecking people on T1 and then using voice chat calling them idiots. And none of those things come from your wallet. Well, except of course for the iRacing subscription that you need to use if you want to call people idiots over the voice chat. Consistency matters more than components, and racecraft beats refresh rates. Your ability to adapt to conditions, understand the car behavior, and stay mentally sharp in long stunts will be always more valuable than any upgrades that you can buy. Some of the fastest drivers that I know, and I keep saying this, are still using older gear, belt drives or dated pedals or even a single monitor. And why? Because they've mastered what they have. They don't really care about it. They focus on driving, not shopping. One question naturally comes over. How do you stop FOMO from taking over? First, get clear on what actually limits you. If your hardware is truly holding you back, it's unreliable, uncomfortable, it's not really sharp, there's something wrong with it, or it's causing frustration for one reason or the other, then by all means, upgrade, spend your money. But if the only reason you want something new is because you saw someone else using it, take a breath. Mute the hype if you have to, unfollow accounts that trigger that need to spend, including my own if necessary. Go to the track, set goals around lap times, consistency, and race finishes, not new purchases. You really don't need a $5,000 rig to have a $5,000 experience. You need the right mindset and, at most, some strategic gear choices. Sim racing is about, or should be about, having fun. It's supposed to be about pushing your limits, connecting with the community, and experience the thrill of motorsports in your own home or being verbally assaulted over voice chat. FOMO robs you of that by constantly telling you that what you have isn't enough. And to be fair, this is kind of a lesson for life, isn't it? So master what you've got, go enjoy the drive, and remember, you're not missing out if you're still racing.